Welcome back to the program, and now to some of your stories in brief. We begin with a special prayer session that has been convened for the nation guidance and development. The First Lady of Nigeria, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, in her address harped on the importance of worship, where she said the highway through which our requests and innermost desires are achieved. She reminded participants that Islam has outlined responsibilities to our Creator, societies, our close and extended families and our neighbours, and we must carry out the responsibilities to the best of our ability. She's also called for the promotion of tolerance, love, harmony, peaceful coexistence among the people of different faiths in the nation. Elsewhere, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reserved judgment in the appeal filed by the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Chief Great Ogboru, against the election of Senator Ifeanyi Okowa as Governor of Delta State. A five-man panel of the court, led by Justice Uzon Dukwe-Anyanwu, reserved judgment after the lawyers to the parties in the appeal adopted and argued their final briefs. Chief Ogboru is asking the court to reverse the decision of the Delta State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which returned Senator Okowa as winner of the March 9th Delta governorship election. Chief Ogboru had raised 37 of the appeals through his lawyer, upon which he is asking the Court of Appeal to set aside the entire judgment of the tribunal. It's about 5 days to the governorship elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, warned that any polling units caught in any incident of violence or malpractice risks cancellation of results. The Director of Voter Education and Publicity, Mr. Oluwole Osazozi, gave this warning in our political program, Politics Today. He said INEC would not hesitate to cancel results of any polling unit found in any election irregularity.
We are hopeful that the elections in both states will be completed first ballot. As Mr. Joe has said, the thing has become very, very competitive now. But one thing we assure Nigerians that where there is violence, where violence disrupts election, no result will come from there. We will not add those results to the thing. But if it's the margin of victory is so slim, we might have to go back there until we get it right. We'll be prepared to not reward bad behavior.
For more perspectives on the pre-election preparations, the Inter-Party Advisory Council IPAC Second Deputy Chairman, Honorable Eyiwawe Razak, joins us live from our Abuja studios. I hope I got your name right. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. I must ask you, about 23 candidates for the Kogi race, and we have about 41 for the top seat in Bayelsa. How far would you assess the campaigns of these political parties?
Good afternoon, viewers. It's a pleasure being on your program. I believe the campaign is going robustly, and it's doing all the candidates are doing very, very fine, except for the violence we are hearing in Kogi. Though we are expecting that before, and we are planning towards preventing it. I believe what needs to be done needs to be done. The security agencies need to be more proactive to prevent violence or the violence that may occur during this campaign. But left to the political parties, I think majority of the political parties are going peacefully and are doing very fine on their campaigns, except for the one we just had on SDP recently in Kogi. But in Bayelsa, it's been a bit peaceful, but we still believe the security agencies will do the needful in making sure they nip such violences before they occur. We have our belief, and we hope it's going to work.
Argued that some of the campaigns, rather than issue-based, they're pretty ephemeral. But then IPAC recently reviewed its code of conduct requiring political parties to comply with all electoral laws, rules and regulations, as well as INEC guidelines on elections. And then we also have the signed peace pact, the peace accord with political parties. But yet we still have, the scenes of violence you've mentioned. Political parties are accusing each other of plots to deploy armed thugs. How can we assure that there will be a smooth election process in both states?
I know left to IPAC. IPAC has already done the needful. Even right now, we are going on campaign tomorrow in Kogi for a peaceful election. We do it in all elections. and next tomorrow we'll be in Bayelsa to do the same thing. IPAC has been a body that has been very, very active in keeping peace within political parties and among political parties and among political processes. Even right now, as I've said, in the next 2 days, you'll see our activities. But notwithstanding, we still need to plead with a few, 1 or 2 political parties who want to win at all costs. We believe the life of a single Nigerian is very precious to us than the election itself. We believe IPAC will do all it can to prevent violence and to prevent the detrimental aspect of election. The president of IPAC, Chief Bitame, I believe will reach out with the team going to Kogi, to the sitting governor, and the other aspirants, or the other candidates of political parties, to see the need to give peace a chance and allow the vote of
that. Right now, INEC is currently holding a stakeholders meeting in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, ahead of the Saturday governorship election. We hear the chairman of the electoral body, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, is leading that meeting. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamo, and most of the candidates in the race, we hear, are present at that event. The event is meant to discuss issues relating to the conduct of Saturday's exercise. Many people have called this initiative like a pre-election survey ahead of November 16 to monitor and also a sort of evaluation print. But, you know, your thoughts looking at some of the efforts of INEC and then the security agencies, they're having this series of meetings to ensure that there's a free and fair election. How would you analyze some of their efforts and preparations towards the exercise?
I think INEC is doing pretty well. I believe INEC is doing very good. The only thing we need to do is they need to be more active on the issue of the security agencies. They need to call in the IGP and the head of the military apparatus and DSS. We always have a fear. If you look at the 2019 election, the military should not take sides. The police do not take sides, should not take sides. They should allow the masses and the vote of people to count. Governance is about the people. It's not about the person on seat. It's about the people. It's about the will of the people. It's about the masses. It's about what they want. They should be on the side of the people. They should be on the side of the Constitution. There's a difference between a plan, planning before a program, and for you making sure those plans work. The police, the military, all the armed forces that will be on ground on that day should be ready to do the needful. They should not take sides. If they do that, with what INEC has on ground, I believe this election is going to be free and fair. But if they don't do that, if they take sides, then that's where you see the violence you see, and the kind of killings and the
and we definitely hope it doesn't come to that. Well, we appreciate your time. We must go. We'd like to thank you at this point. Honorable Ayowawi Razak, thank you for joining us on the program. And that's how we wrap things up. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to join the discussion on our social media platforms. I'm Millicent Walker. I'll see you soon.